Om Tavakathamritam Tapta Jivanam Kavivirritam Kalmasapaham Shravana Mangalam Srimadatatam Bhuvi Grinuntiye Bhurida Janaha. Your story of divine force is like nectar, is the very life force for the living beings burning in the fire of the world. It destroys sins. Mere listening to your exploits brings about the well-being of the living beings. That's why those who know the truth have described your exploits to be the greatest. Those on earth who sing the glories of your exploits have certainly done a lot of charity in their previous births. It is owing to the result of that meritorious action that they have developed taste for singing the glories of your sports. Om, peace, peace, peace. A very good evening to you all. It's really a matter of great joy to spend some time in the thought of the Master's nectar-like words, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. We have been reading from the page 81, and M, who was going to commit suicide, now after coming to Sri Ramakrishna, having listened to some words, changed his mind, found joy in this life, understood the goal of life is not to commit suicide, but to realize God, realize the truth, know our real self, came second time to meet Sri Ramakrishna and was talking to him, first a little bit argumentative, then gradually he understood that what he says appeals to me. I should not talk about God. This is the deep mystery of God. I do not know. So it is better with humility I should follow his instructions and words and put forth his questions. So this humility gradually grew in his mind. His attitude towards life, towards things, towards people were changing. And he humbly asked, "Yes, sir, how, sir, may we fix our minds on God?" A guru, a teacher, will not say something very essential, very precious to a disciple who doesn't have respect or that Shraddha. Shraddha is a kind of, it is not only respect, it is a kind of devotion, love, respect, and earnestness. So many things together make Shraddha. And now we find that that Shraddha is being gradually generated in the mind of the questioner, M. Mahendranath Gupta, the recorder of this gospel. And humbly he has put himself inside bracket that he was asking this question. Previous to this, before that, he didn't use that humbly. He was talking, he was also putting forth his arguments, trying to argue with Sri Ramakrishna. But now he says, "Yes, sir, how, sir, may we fix our minds on God?" Very humbly he was asking. And Master said, "Repeat God's name and sing His glories and keep holy company, and now and then visit God's devotees and holy men. The mind cannot dwell on God if it is immersed day and night in worldliness, in worldly duties and responsibilities. It is most necessary to go into solitude now and then and think of God, To fix the mind on God is very difficult in the beginning, unless one practices meditation in solitude. When a tree is young, it should be fenced all around, otherwise it may be destroyed by cattle. So, just through a few words, the goal of human life and how to achieve that goal for the common people, particularly the householders and any sadhaka, can realize the truth, ultimate goal of human life. That is what he was telling, very simple words, and all can follow also. He has not given such prescription that no one can follow that. Then it becomes very difficult for ordinary people. If the student, disciple find that what my guru is telling, instructing, it is beyond my capacity to follow his instructions, I cannot. But when he or she finds that yes, what is given to me, I can practice this. It is not beyond my limit. It is not beyond my capacity. So Sri Ramakrishna is telling repeat God's name. Realizing God does not mean that you have to leave everything, you have to go somewhere, and always you have to be busy in spiritual thought. It is not that. You are a householder, common people, you see, love God, take God's name, be in holy company, because that makes the mind purer. Otherwise, the same mind, if it is always busy and remaining in the company of bad people, their bad things, inner tendencies, habits will come and spoil, degrade your mind, degenerate your mind. So, simple thing. It is an eternal question for any seekers of truth, that we have to fix our mind in God and God alone. And how to do that? How is it possible? So one after another, certain questions asked, and Master was, without making any big demand, just simply telling, yes, repeat God's name and sing His glories and keep holy company, and now and then visit God's devotees and holy men, and try to go in solitude. To meditate, you should withdraw within yourself or retire to a secluded corner or to the forest. And you should always discriminate between the real and the unreal. God alone is real, the eternal substance. All else is unreal. That is impermanent. By discriminating thus, one should shake off impermanent objects from the mind. We read up to this just to recapitulate a little bit. So gradually this man who was trying to commit suicide and was not getting joy, now he has changed his attitude after coming to Sri Ramakrishna, not as a devotee, just to see Dakshineshwar. Now his mind is there, sir, how to fix our mind on God. And now, after that, he is putting another question, how ought we to live in the world? He was trying to commit suicide. He won't live in this world, which is always burning with so many miseries, unhappiness, this not getting success, and full of failures, frustrated, depressed, not getting any joy, any light. Now he gets hope in the words of Sri Ramakrishna. And Sri Ramakrishna was also telling, yes, even remaining in a householder's life, doing all karmas, your duties, one can see God. And the goal of human life is to realize God, and that is what is called jnana. Knowing God is knowledge, not knowing God is ignorance, which is not expected of the human beings, because God has given us that faculty of discrimination, love, devotion, and also thinking of this, thought of this real, unreal. If something is ever changing, which is not permanent? Why I unnecessarily give my life, energy, everything for that thing which is always changing, not permanent? Let us engage our everything, resources in what is permanent. And in this universe, permanent is God. And how to fix our mind in God? Our mind goes anywhere and everywhere, but it doesn't like to be in God. A little bit when we feel a little emotional, some shock in life, we go to the temple, we go to some holy people, we listen to them a few words, a few hours, then again our mind becomes soiled, our mind becomes crooked, our mind becomes depressed, our mind becomes busy with all worldly objects and enjoyment, not God. So this is a common problem with almost all of us. 99.99999% people are born in this way, that we get joy in the external worldly objects. We want to enjoy that, not we want to enjoy the company of God, thought of God. But some are born with that divine tendencies also. They like to think of God. Anything worldly they cannot bear. Now, this man is asking, how ought to live in this world? We have to live in this world and then think of God, fix our mind in God. So, some other questions also, very pertinent questions, very important questions in human life, anyone's life. If we know the answers of these questions and practice what the answers Sri Ramakrishna has given in this age, the avatar in this age, then we will find that, yes, as instructed by Sri Ramakrishna, through our self-effort and through the grace of God, we can also proceed towards the goal of this human life. And we have to live in this world. How Sri Ramakrishna is telling, do all your duties, but keep your mind on God. Live with all, with wife and children, father and mother, and serve them. Treat them as if they were very dear to you, but know in your heart of hearts that they do not belong to you. In the family life, householder's life, how difficult it is for the householders to think of God, to meditate on God, to follow all the instructions given in the scriptures, given by the gurus. You spend more and more time in God, fix your mind, concentrate your mind, don't scatter your mind in for worldly objects. How difficult it is. In the Gita, Bhagavan is telling, Sangat sanjayate kamo kamat krodho vijayate krodat bhavati sammoho sammoho. If we remain in the company of something, then gradually we feel a kind of attachment. This son, daughter, husband, wife, father, mother, money, name, fame. Gradually we become dragged to all those things. When I did not say, I was not that glamorous man, that known to all, I did not get any name and fame, I was not desirous of that, because I did not have that. But once I get name and fame and appreciation and respect from others, then gradually I feel, if it is taken away from me, then I feel miserable. World is like that. So in this world also, living in the worldly life and living with all our kids and kid, mind will be in God and not on them, it is very difficult. But in the Gita, Bhagavan said, if you practice, then you will be able to do that. Sri Ramakrishna was also telling, practice a little bit of meditation, go in solitude, in a solitary place, spend some time. And if you discriminate the real and unreal, what is real in this world? Only that eternal essence, eternal substance, whom we call God, Brahman, ultimate reality, Almighty, whatever adjective we give. That is there only, will not be changed in any circumstances. Whatever the situation may be, it was, it is, and it will be. That is why it is called Chit Ananda. Sat means the existence absolute, which was, which is, and which will be. And Chit means knowledge, consciousness, absolute. And Ananda, bliss absolute. We want to have Ananda, joy, in anything and everything in this world. Mistakenly, we do not know where is the source of all, perennial source of all joy and Ananda is in God and God alone. So, Master is giving very simple prescription to any seekers of God and blending nicely Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, meditation, all the yogas are in this 2-3 lines, the combination of blending of all these yogas very marvelously, nicely, brevity is there, not talking too much. We know little and we like to talk too much. Master knew the problem, he knew the disease and he knew the exact medicine also, and in just few words, repeat God names. It is Bhakti Yoga. He is not asking anybody because all the yogas, whatever path we follow, it is not airtight compartments that one yoga will not be overlapped or touched, will not accompany other yogas. It is not that. Some tendencies are more prominent in our nature. We say, oh, he is very meditative because I meditate longer time compared to my activities and other things. So it is called that man is very meditative. Another man works longer and gets joy also. He cannot meditate too long. So we tell, we call him, oh, he is a karmi, he is a worker. He likes working. Another one, this offering puja, doing ritualistic puja, something. So that is, he is a devotee, bhakta, devotion. Prominence of devotion, prominence of discrimination. No, this world is unreal. God is only real. Brahman is only the ultimate reality. Not this, not this. Always having this discriminative thought, it makes a man to be called as the seekers of knowledge, jnani, discrimination, devotion, action, and meditation. All these 4 paths are nicely, it is outwardly it is not said, but it is there. If anyone follows this, a few instructions just given by Sri Ramakrishna to the seekers of the knowledge of God, then we find that yes, he has given this, be a little, have a little bhakti, devotion, pray to God, chant the names of and glories of God, and be in holy company. That will purify our mind. Otherwise, as I said, generally whatever a man is known by the company he keeps. Birds of a feather flock together. Holy people will be always liking good people, pure-minded people, and these pure-minded people also will be liking the company of the holy people because they like them. Birds of a feather flock together, and in our everyday life also we find if we remain busy with bad people, all those bad tendencies also enter gradually. Our inner tendencies become affected in that way. If the people are good, we will imbibe good things, good habits, good thoughts. And if the people, their life is not that pure and their thoughts are not that pure, we will also be gradually imbibing those bad things, thoughts, ideas, behaviors from them. So Sri Ramakrishna is giving that there must be a little bit of devotion, there must be a little bit of karma, as a going to the holy people. This is also a karma and doing good to others. And now he will be telling, do all your duties, but keep your mind on God, live with all. This doing everything in the world, in the family life, in the social life, in our Vedas, when the disciple was coming back from the Guru, Guru is telling, it is a kind of invocation. Yani anuvaddani karmani tani sevitobhyani no itorani. You are going back home to follow the householder's life. So you go, nothing wrong is there. But Matri Devo Bhavo, Pitri Devo Bhavo, Atithi Devo Bhavo, Acharya Devo Bhavo, Satyam Bhryat, Priyam Bhryat, all these things, Shraddha Devam, Ashraddha Devam, always according to your capacity you must donate. Don't think, don't be selfish, do your duty to the Yani Anuvaddani Karmani Tani Savitabhani, always do the welfare activities for the society, because whatever you are today, it is not only from your father and mother. Yes, they have given the birth of your body. You have got maximum things from them, but at the same time, how much you have taken the help from the nature, from the society, from others. So now that you are equipped, you are qualified, now you are skilled, you have learned, now you must give back also to the society, father, mother, and how you will treat them. Till now they have brought you up. Now they are getting older, they are getting aged. It is your responsibility to take care of them. How you will take care of them? You will take care of them like gods and goddesses. You will treat them in that way. And you must give your property, your wealth in charity also for the good of others in the society. But you are a householder, don't give in that way that next day you become a pauper. And you are not able to do your duty to your wife, to your husband, to your son, to your daughter, to your father, mother. So remain within the limit. So these things are there in our Vedas, Upanishads. When after the 12 years of Guru Grihavasu is coming, the disciple back home, Guru is telling, do all these things. So here we find, you take God's name, Bhakti Jago, you do everything, but detached. Do everything in a detached manner. That is called Karma Yoga. In this life we suffer because we do karma, it becomes karma bhoga, suffering. If it is some good karma, we get a little joy also from that, but mostly we suffer because we are not detached. With attachment, with desire, we do karma. I am doing this karma, I will get this result. That is why in the Gita, Bhagavan said, Sri Krishna to Arjuna, you have the right to do the activities, works, your duties, but not to the fruit thereof. Karmanyavadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. So don't be desirous of, don't aspire for the results, for the fruits of your activities. Good, bad, whatever you have done, always try to do good things. Bad things if you have done, don't do anymore. If you know, if you understand that I have done something wrong, don't do again. Keep away from that. Swamiji is telling in his one of the poem, if you can, help others. If you cannot, hands up. Don't trouble the whole world, suffering world, miserable world. Don't bring more miseries. Don't trouble more to the society who are already troubled. If you can, help them. But not in the Parliament of Religion, Swamiji said, help and not fight. Enough fight has taken place. Centuries after centuries, ages after ages, for something which actually people do not know what will be the result. Unknowingly, like ignorance, they fought against each other. So now enough is enough. Now help. It is not a rivalry. It is not a competition, but it is a cooperation. You also be good, I am also being good. What is religion? Religion is to be good and to do good to others. That is the whole of religion. According to Vivekananda, religion is the manifestation of the divinity already in man. Don't try to bring out anything that is wrong, evil within you. Although we know we have our evil tendencies, we have our instincts like brutes, but that is not your reality. You have good things within, try to manifest. That is religion. Realizing God means manifesting all that is good in you, which you are not aware of, which are latent. You are always trying to bring out all that is bad in you, but that is actually out of ignorance you are doing. You are not bad. You are the descendants of rishis and munis. You have come from God. We are all the children of immortal bliss. So try to manifest the divinity within. Always try to be good and do good to others. This is doing good to others is karma yoga. Always you do your duties, but keep your mind in God and God alone. Live with all, with wife and children, father and mother, and serve them. Treat them as if they were very dear to you. But know in your heart of hearts that they do not belong to you. It is not something rude. It is not something that heartlessness. It is actually the reality. You have come to, it is a play, it is a stage. We are all acting, playing our roles according to our position, whatever is given to us, assigned to us. So do your duty wholeheartedly. Play. If you are given the role of a beggar, do it nicely. If you are given the role of a king, do it nicely. But do everything in a detached manner, because after the play is over, again you will be what you are. This is all for some time. We are playing our roles. It is a drama like maximum 100 years. We will play according to our capacity, according to our position, whatever is status is given to us. So, Sri Ramakrishna is giving very simple thing that ordinary people also can follow, take God's name and do some meditation, think that in this world nothing is real, so don't get attached to it, do all your duties in a detached manner. And a maidservant now he is telling, a maidservant in the house of a rich man performs all the household duties, but her thoughts are fixed on her own home in her native village. She brings up her master's children as if they were her own. She even speaks of them as my Ramo or my Hari. But in her own mind, she knew very well that they do not belong to her at all. She had her own son at home, in the village home, being brought up by others, or after the whole day she will go back and she will spend with her own son, own daughter, own children. But whole day he is doing his activities in the landlord's house. Employers, oh, this is our house, he is telling. Actually, she knows it is not her house, so live the life like a maidservant. Do everything. Do your best. But don't get attached to it. Know that these are all for a few days, few years, one life. Again, it will no more be your. So, and your root is also very sublime. If you have come from God, you will go back to God. So don't have any other fear also. Nothing to lose, nothing to gain in this world. So this is called real and unreal. This is called Jnana Yoga. So a little bit of discrimination, Jnana Yoga, a little bit of Bhakti Yoga, a little bit of Karma Yoga, do all works without attachment, and also do some meditation. Think of the God, its presence in your heart of hearts. In all our scriptures it is said, Angushta matram purusham mahantam, it is there. Just like a thumb, it is in your heart of hearts. So meditate on that, this divine presence of God always in your heart, where you are going to find out. So a little bit discrimination, a little bit meditation, a little bit action, a little bit devotion. This wonderful combination Sri Ramakrishna has given, and now he is explaining a little more and giving some examples how to live in this world, keeping the mind fixed in God and God alone. Because if the mind runs after the worldly things, it will never be, it will be always agitated, cogitated. Never ever it will be calm and quiet. And if so long the mind will remain disturbed, this in a pond, the reflection of sun or moon, it is reflected. If the water is not wavy, it is not, ripples are not there, then we can see without directly seeing at the sky, in the water also, in the mirror also. So, but if the water is moving, ripples are there, wavy, waves are coming and going, then we will have some kind of reflection, but not the exact reflection of sun and moon, whatever it is. So in our heart also, we will not we will not see the presence of God if the heart is busy, mind is always busy with different things, sometimes joy, sometimes unhappiness, suffering, all these things. So reflection of God will not be felt and seen and observed, experienced in our heart of hearts, which is actually there, but we cannot see. So do a little meditation also. See, try to see God in your heart of hearts. So wonderful tips Sri Ramakrishna is giving, and also the words of hope, that yes, one can see God even remaining in the householder's life, doing all so-called worldly duties. Gradually you will find no duty is worldly duty, nothing is secular. Sister Nivedita said that Swami Vivekananda proved that nothing is secular. Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, Swami Vivekananda, their life and teachings, it proved that everything is spiritual, nothing secular in this life. They did not do anything that we can call secular. Work and worship, it is same. Work is worship. No work is work. I am not doing anything for you. Doing good to others, actually, it means it is doing good to myself, because you and me, but it will come gradually. Begin with this small thing, chanting God's name, remaining in the holy company, discussing good things, attending scripture classes, spending some time in japa meditation, offering prayers, always thinking something high. So change your attitude about your life and about the world. This world is not permanent, not real. It is unreal because it is changing. So don't get attached and don't fall in love in the worldly objects which are ever changing. But some values are there, they will never change. This love, devotion, truthfulness, unselfishness, straightforwardness. All these things, some values, virtues, if you can practice, which are eternal. It has been, these are still making people going forward from brute level to Buddha level, from the divine level, from the brute level to the divine level. It is uplifting people, enriching people, making our mind sublimated to a higher level. If you follow these things, it will happen. Nothing to be worried. In the Gita, Bhagavan said, Arjun, overnight nothing will come. Shanai, shanai uparamet. Gradually, bit by bit, that realization, your mind will be controlled. What I am telling now, you are not understanding, but everything will be experienced by you if you follow my instructions and have patience and practice it. Practice maketh a man perfect. Abhyasana tu kaunteo vairagyena cha grihate. So Sri Ramakrishna is telling, it is not that hard that one cannot fix their mind in God. Have you not seen a maidservant? Every house there are maidservants. They do everything. But you see what wonderful, appropriate upama Sri Ramakrishna saw. Earlier, in older days, in centuries ago, it was said that upama Kalidasasya. Kalidasa, that Sanskrit famous poet, he used to give these similes, stories, examples in such a way that people would think, oh yes, it is living examples. Sri Ramakrishna also is giving living examples. We cannot say, no, it doesn't happen. Really, whole day, that lady, this maidservant, they do anything and everything. If some unknown people, visitors come, they, this is our house, she says, this is my son, this is my Hari. But actually, it is not my. This is not my home, this is not my child. But whole day they do all these things, but attachment is with her own child. Everything he or she does. In this life also we have to do anything and everything given to us, our duties, with full attention, fixing our mind in God and God alone. We know that yes, this life is not more than maximum 100 years. After that, so this body also will go. But should I commit suicide? No, it is not that. Committing suicide, that is why God has given us the human body. It is not. The human body has been given to us only to enable us to experience the highest truth. The goal of life is to realize that truth. That is possible only through human birth. Even devas, after finishing their punya karma, they will also kshine punne martulokang vishanti. They will come down again to the world, earth, for doing again tapasya, to raise themselves to the level of devas or to be liberated, whatever is there. So this human life, human birth is very precious. Shankaracharya said that three things are very rare and precious in Vivek Chudamani. Daivanugraha hetukam manushyattang mamushattang mahapurusha samsraya. Three things are very rare in this life to get. Without God's grace, without doing good deeds in previous lives, one cannot have that. What is that? Manushyattang mumukshattang mahapurusha samsraya. This human birth, human life. Then desire to know the truth. Am I born only to live like the animals, brutes, eating, drinking, sleeping, procreating, and then dying? It is the goal of human life. What happens? Am I the body? Or there is something, some birthless, deathless, changeless, eternal essence in me? What is this? This body, goal of human life is this. This question doesn't arise in the minds of any other animals. It comes only in the mind of, that is the discriminative faculty God has given free of cost. So we should not misuse that. We should use it properly, just to know how to use it properly and get the highest benefit in this life itself, because human birth is meant for that, to realize that ultimate truth in this life itself. Sri Ramakrishna again and again said in the Gospel, many other places also, in the Vedas, Upanishads also, know thyself. What is the goal of human life? Disciple is asking the question to the Guru. And this Guru, Rishi is telling, yes, know thyself. Atmanang viddhi. If you can know yourself, everything will be known. And that is the goal of life. That is what we all need to know, we all need to experience. And what are the ways? Simple thing. Be in holy company, do good things to others, do every activities in a detached manner, offer prayers to God, take God's name purified, repeat God's name, that purifies our mind, changes our attitude, and always try to avoid getting attached in worldly things. Think that those things will not be. It will give a little bit good taste to me, a little bit enjoyment, a little bit happiness for the time being, but actually at the end of the day, it doesn't have any real value. It only will eat up my whatever is there. It will not give me permanent joy. So these are the things, and how to live like the maidservant. Maidservant does everything but unattached. Then another example, Upama Sri Ramakrishna's similes. Examples are so living. The tortoise moves about in the water, but can you guess where her thoughts are? There on the bank, where her eggs are lying. Do all your duties in the world, but keep your mind on God and God alone. Giving the tips. Hope is there. You will not be degraded, degenerated. You will not be finished. Rather, you will be really knower of the ultimate truth in this life itself, if you can do this. How to do? What about the tortoise? Maidservant gun. Now another example. Tortoise, what they do you know? mother tortoise, where is its mind? Its mind is on the bank, where it has kept its eggs are lying. They are on the bank, not in the water. It is in the water. It leaves its eggs, covers it with some sand. It is in the beach, on the bank. Again it goes down to water for its survival and for the survival of the he also knew its egg from that egg any new tortoise will come. So for its living it is busy to do, but mind is there. It is doing all activities for its own survival and for the survival of that child also. But it is that mother tortoise, mind is always on the bank. So our mind should be always on God and God alone. Raja Maharaj, Rakhal Maharaj said, Master also said, that if you give 12 annas, 75% of your mind for the God, and 4 annas, 25% for the worldly activities, it will be over-flooded of success if you can control your mind and 25% of your mind be engaged in the worldly activities and 75% of your mind in God. These worldly activities are so ordinary. It is not that. Because your mind is fickle, it is not concentrated. The whole day you are working and thinking, planning. Even after that you are not satisfied. Even after that you may not be successful, and you are thinking, I have to be more, give more time, more. It is not that. If your mind is controlled, trained properly, 75% of your mind you give for the thought of God, and 25% of your mind, 1/4, is sufficient for the worldly activities and duties to perform. So, tortoise moves about here and there, but mind is in the bank where its eggs are lying. Do all your duties in the world, but keep your mind on God. Another, one after another, Master is giving, some other also will come. If you enter the world without first cultivating love for God, you will be entangled more and more. You will be overwhelmed with its danger, its grief, its sorrows, and the more you think of worldly things, the more you will be attached to them. If, without having any definite, permanent impression of God in your mind, if you enter into the worldly life, doing all worldly things, then instead of getting joy in that, you will be always grief-stricken, disturbed, and troubled, feeling the life very miserable. But if in the beginning you cultivate some love and knowledge of God, then these worldly waves of different opponent situation and troubles, it will not be able to distract your mind, make your mind unhappy and frustrated. You will be able to, as Swamiji said, that face the brute. Don't go away. You have the power to face the brute. Accept the challenges of life because you know how to handle it. If I know something, I will not be perturbed, disturbed. My mind will not be restless and unhappy. Oh, what is coming? I know how to handle it. So, know first God. Then if you enter into the worldly activities and duties, if you enter the world without first cultivating love for God, you will be entangled more and more. Without your knowing, unconsciously you will be going down and down. Sri Ramakrishna said once Sri Ramakrishna visited in Calcutta, in those days there was the Fort William. So the cantonment of the British army. So there was underground arrangement. Nobody knew. But a little bit they used to allow people to come and see. So Master also one day went there, and while going, it is a slope going down and down. No problem was there. But while coming back, Master was telling, do you know, in this worldly life also, people always, they go down and down, enjoy everything worldly and think, oh, very easy, very joyful. Now you are coming back, you see how difficult it is. All are gasping, all are perspiring, breathless now. I cannot come because you have already come down to the four-story building, like down there. Now, how difficult it is to raise your mind towards God. So, it is very easy to degenerate your mind, to be attached to the worldly things if you do not know, if you have not generated love for God. Then what will happen? More and more, unknowingly, unconsciously, you will be more and more entangled with the worldly things. After that, even it will be difficult for you to come out. When people go to the area, desert area, there are mirrors. From a distance, they think, oh, I am feeling tired and thirsty. Oh, there is a pond. There is a reflection is there. Sun rays fall on the desert, and it shines in such a way that people, visitors, tourists, they think water is there. So they go more and more forward to find out the water to quench their thirst. The more they go, they enter into the middle of the deep desert, from where there is no energy to come back. But if in the beginning, oh, no, that is mirage, that is not a water body, that is not a pond, that is not a lake, oh God. So the tourist, the visitor, turns back and take the different course to come out of the desert. So in this life also, if in the beginning we have a little bit of love for God and we understand what is real, what is unreal, what we should do, what do's and don'ts, if we know that and act accordingly, then we will find that these worldly matters are not that powerful to have grip over my mind and put me in trouble and make my life miserable. You will be overwhelmed with its danger, its grief, its sorrows, and the more you think of worldly things, the more you will be attached to them. So, Sri Ramakrishna is giving very appropriate and practical tips to anyone in our life. We find these things, yes, this kind of barriers, hurdles, problems come in our lives. Then Master is telling, first rub your hands with oil and then break open the jackfruit. Otherwise, they will be smeared with its sticky milk. First secure the oil of divine love and then set your hands to the duties of the world. In the childhood days, we used to enjoy these jackfruits, very juicy and very tasty, sweet also. So if without the smearing, rubbing some oil, if we used to touch it, oh God, how difficult. A little bit enjoyment of this sweet jackfruit, then now it does not go anywhere, and everywhere you touch, it is that sticky milk is there. Very difficult. Eating, it takes 5 minutes, then to get the hands okay, normal, it may take half an hour, 1 hour, and so much of problem. So Master is telling, first rub your hands with some oil, and then you break open the jackfruit and enjoy the jackfruit. Then the sticky milk will not be able to disturb your hand, your tongue, anywhere. No, there will be no problem. First secure the oil of divine love. First generate some kind of, grow some kind of love, divine love for God. then you will find that anything worldly is not able. How much temptation is there, how much powerful it may be, its attraction, its crookedness, it will not be able to overpower your mind fully. And then set your hands to the duties of the world. You take any activities, you enter in the worldly life, you have your husband, wife, children, name, fame, nothing will be able to make your mind attached to all these things, because you have already grown, you have developed that divine love for God. And if it is there, you anywhere you can be engaged without any problem. But one must go into solitude to attain this divine love. How this divine love will come? If just after your formal education you enter into the worldly life and do all kinds of duties, not knowing the secret how to remain detached, then it is very difficult. It will. But how to have that divine love? One must go into solitude to attain this divine love. To get butter from milk, you must let it set into curd in a secluded spot. If it is too much disturbed, milk won't turn into curd. Next, you must put aside all other duties, sit in a quiet spot and churn the curd. Only then do you get butter. And if you put the butter in the water, it will not get mixed. But milk and water, if you put together, then you cannot get back your milk. Everywhere it is full of water. You don't have the genuine pure milk. So this mind, before entering the household duties and activities, if you don't train it properly and grow some kind of divine love for the ultimate reality, for God, then it will be very difficult for you to keep your mind steady. And that mind will not be able to withstand the worldly grief, problems, suffering, misery. Any small heat, your mind will be shattered into pieces, frustration, depression. How many people commit suicide? Because their mind is so weak. They don't have that power, that control over their own mind, that they take away their own lives. So Master is telling that how another wonderful example. We know, yes, if milk is put into the water, we don't get the pure milk. But if milk, to get butter from milk, you must let it set into curd and a secluded spot, in a secluded spot, and if it is too much disturbed, milk won't turn into curd. So mind, if you go in a secluded place, you can go deep into your mind. You can study. You can see what actually your mind is doing. Gradually you have the control over your mind. But if the mind is always busy in the din and bustle of this worldly life, always busy in some activities and disturbed by others, sound pollution and many others, vision pollution, so many things are there, always disturbing our senses, that will not do. So it is better in the beginning of your life, have some holy company, repeat God's name, pray, prayer, and secretly in a secluded place, do some japa meditation, study your mind, control your mind. If once you have that grief over your mind, afterwards you go do any duties anywhere, it will not be disturbed. Like getting butter from milk. So it is, if it is too much disturbed, milk won't turn into curd. Next, you must put aside all other duties, sit in a quiet spot and churn the curd. Only then do you get butter. Further, by meditating on God in solitude, the mind acquires knowledge, dispassion and devotion. But the very same mind goes downward if it dwells in the world. In the world, there is only one thought, woman and gold. Means lust and lucre. In this world, most of the people suffer and fall in trap only for these two first. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moho, Mada, Matsarya. There are 6 Saroripus in our lives,
everyone's life. This lust is there, desire also there, one after another desire, consumerism. I have 5 cars, another latest model car I want. I have 2 houses, another house I need. I have enough food, I have another hotel is there, restaurant there, I purchase something. And now it is obesity is there. Father, mother have got enough money, whatever children do not like to eat, but father, mother just to show their artificial love, because whole day they are busy in the bars, here, there, wine shop, in their workplace. They don't give time for their own children. When a little bit time they get, they want to give anything and everything to them, just to win over their mind and spoil the boys and girls, children. They get anything and everything, not knowing its value. They don't use it also properly. They don't eat properly. Wastage of anything and everything, exuberance, luxury, and not having father, mother enough time in their life. They remain with the company of other people, and that is not holy company. Gradually they become some kind of psychological problem, and not having that real love and respect and feeling Shraddha for father, mother. Whole life father, mother suffers because they have not given 5 years, 10 years when it was due for the children. They were busy earning money, they were busy enjoying their own lives. So this happens. So Sri Ramakrishna is telling the truth. There is nothing, because here sitting all the male devotees are there. So male man he is telling. So in presence of male devotees, Sri Ramakrishna would say that the problem for male devotees is this woman and gold, means lust and lucre. For woman, Sri Ramakrishna had wonderful devotion. He worshipped Divine Mother in a feminine gender. He worshipped his own wife as the embodiment of the Divine Mother. So his Ishto was Ma Kali, a female goddess. He worshipped his own wife Sharada Devi. So it is when Sri Ramakrishna used to meet the women devotees, he would say always be very cautious of the presence of male people. There it will not be the woman and gold, it will be man and gold. Means this desire to enjoy the company of other sex, the spiritual aspirants, they lose their sanctity, purity of their character, their concentration of mind. So Sri Ramakrishna is giving one after another wonderful examples. And the world is water and the mind milk. If you pour milk into water, they become one. You cannot find the pure milk anymore. But turn the milk into curd and churn it into butter, then when that butter is placed in water, it will float. So practice spiritual discipline in solitude and obtain the butter of knowledge and love. Even if you keep that butter in the water of the world, the two will not mix. The butter will float. Together with this, you must practice discrimination. Woman and gold is impermanent. God is the only eternal substance. What does a man get with money? Food, clothes, and dwelling place? Nothing more. You cannot realize God with itself. Therefore, money can never be the goal of life. That is the process of discrimination. Do you understand? So, wonderful insights are there, practical examples are there, and the tips also how to love God. First question, fix our minds on God, and how to live in this world. So these things, if we follow the Sri Ramakrishna's wonderful examples, which are very, very appropriate, everyday life we find all these things, and we understand that if we really could follow the Sri Ramakrishna's instructions and practice these things, in our life also we will feel the love, we will experience the love of God in our mind, and also a kind of detachment, dispassion for the worldly things, and love of God. So we'll continue with this nectar-like words of our Master. We close here. Om Shanti 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 Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. You have any questions? No question? Bah, very good.